The patron saint of the Bohemian Grove is St. John of Naples, and a large statue of him stands inside the grounds with him holding his index finger over his mouth, signifying secrecy and reminding members to keep their mouths shut. A patron saint is someone who embodies a group's philosophies or goals, and John of Naples received the confessionals of the Queen of Bohemia in the 1300s, and when pressured by the king to reveal her confessions after he suspected her of cheating on him, St. John refused and was killed by the king. So basically, he symbolizes Robert De Niro's gangster gospel in Goodfellas, that you never rat on your friends and you always keep your mouth shut, which is why there's a life-size statue of John of Naples standing prominently in the Bohemian Grove. And
so I've spoken of this index finger over the mouth indicating secrecy a bit lately in recent videos, but today we're going to cover some more people who are doing that. This comes from a music video by Imagine Dragons called On Top of the World, where they make a total mockery of the moon landing and reveal it for what it was. And the video starts out with this little boy riding his little tricycle up to this crowd of people who are watching the moon landing on a black and white TV in a storefront window somewhere. And you can see he's got his tinfoil hat on. But also notice that little eyeball and the insignia right here. It says SNOGARD, S-N-O-G-A-R-D. And this is this pops up a few times throughout the music video. And the other day, I referenced this because a guy at work said, you know who buys all the helium? And I said, yeah, NASA. And that indicates to me a lot about what he knows and thinks about, just the fact that he even asked me that question. And so in our conversation, we were talking about, well, how are you going to get over the ice wall? Because he's afraid of heights, doesn't want to do a balloon. How are you going to get over the ice wall to be able to see the edge of the flat earth? He's like, oh, there's a little channel in the middle. I'll take a boat. And so we were having candid conversation. And I said in a video the other day that I was going to send him this Imagine Dragons video on Top of the World, because obviously Fernando's pretty hip to what NASA's about, and that they're not being straightforward with us. Never a straight answer is what they seem to stand for. And I did. I've since sent him the video link to this, and I said, well, maybe Fernando's SNOGARD. And recently someone commented about SNOGARD, and they spelled it S-N-O-W-G-U-A-R-D. That's not how it's spelled. So let's check out some of these other images. There it is again on his shirt. He walks up to the storefront window and he's looking at the moon landing while all these other people around him are watching the moon landing. And he's got his little tinfoil hat on, and this was you and me as a kid, right? Been dreaming of this for a while now. Paying my dues to the dirt. And I'm on top of the world. Over here you got 2001, which is reference to a language called Kubrickian. A reference to Stanley Kubrick, who made 2001 A Space Odyssey, a movie I've never seen. And he made a bunch of other movies I've never seen, but I know there's a whole language of symbolism revolving around that guy. Here I will reference the song Renegades, where it says, let's hear it for the Renegades, like Spielberg's and Kubrick's. Spielberg gave us E.T. There are skeletal remains of beings that look exactly like what you saw in the movie E.T., with 3 long spindly fingers, 3 long spindly toes, and these can all be seen on Gaia TV. They used to be available on YouTube, and I documented them at the time, but those are no longer available. They have reptile-like skin, small slits as their nose holes, but most reptilian is the fact that they have ribs that go from top to bottom. We have 9 ribs that stop about midway down our spine. They have ribs that go all the way down their spine. These ETs that look exactly like what you saw in Spielberg's movie called E.T. They have a single bone where we have the radius and the ulna in the forearm. They have a single bone. Where we have the tibia and the fibula in our shin, they have a single bone. And there is many of these skeletons, which shows that they are not a genetic mutation, but a line of genetics, like a species. So let's hear it for the Renegades, Spielbergs and Kubricks. It's our time to make a move. It's our time to make amends. It's our time to break the rules. Let's begin. That's the song Renegades. So this 2001 here is a reference to Kubrick's 2001 Space Odyssey. Here you have one of the Beatles. I'm going to just leave that at that. I think that's McCartney. My point was not to focus here on McCartney. Here you have, in his eyeglasses, black and white checkerboard floor. You can see that. Here, in his picture with his family, you can see two things. Right here is the Freemasonic emblem. Right here behind her is the Order of the Eastern Star, the female division of Freemasonry. I'll get back. I'll show you some close-ups of those things I just pointed out. Again, SNOGARD. Maybe Fernando SNOGARD. Maybe you SNOGARD, eh? Scenic overlook. That's again a reference to the Kubrickian language of the Overlook Hotel in the movie The Shining. There it is again, SNOGARD. On the monolith, 2001 Space Odyssey has something about a monolith in it. Again, I'm not familiar with Kubrickian language. I haven't seen a lot of these movies that it's referencing, but this music video titled On Top of the World that's showing you that the moon landing was obviously a big joke is packed with the Kubrickian language. I just grabbed this because whatever that is on the door, on the storefront, probably means something. Again, there's the monolith. And there's her going, shh. They didn't put this in there just because the director said, yeah, let's make it like she's trying to listen to the moon landing and her fellow hippies won't be quiet enough, so she can't hear about the moon landing on the radio. And so she's like asking her fellow hippies to be quiet. No. This is more of that symbolism that means more than meets the eye to the average person. But to those who are familiar with the language, they know what this means. Get with the program. Most people can't see that and that. So that's the Order of the Eastern Star. Each one of these limbs of this star is a different color in the Order of the Eastern Star, the women's division of Freemasonry. And there is the square and compass of Freemasonry. Along with that black and white checkerboard floor of Freemasonry. So this song, On Top of the World by Imagine Dragons, is a celebration song for those of us that are been waiting for this for a while now, been dreaming of this since a child now. And we're going to be on top of the world when this big truth is revealed. But I think those who still want to believe in NASA are going to be given the opportunity to continue believing in NASA. And those who want to join the SNOGARD, those who are SNOGARD, well, we'll let those people that want to believe in NASA continue believing in NASA. But we've been looking for this for a long time, and we're about to get the rewards of all of our endeavors and all of our efforts. But you got to lose the fear of all those preconceived ideas, of all that hearsay, of all that stuff that you think you know. No one gets on board thinking they know something. So here's Bowie, who was famous for doing that index finger over the mouth trick. And I'm thinking that's Tiger Woods doing it. And he's got Bob Marley on one side of him, and it looks like Muhammad Ali on the other side. And this is a collage of famous people. It's a photo I took at the art museum, one of the many art galleries in Park City. In that same collage of famous people, you got Bowie down here. That's the whole collage right there. I've just focused in on a couple of them that are doing that finger on the mouth trick, like this guy here. You see him putting his finger over his lips? Somewhere in there is the one we just looked at as well. Looks like here we got Dave Branson. Those are all famous people that are recognizable names. And from within that larger picture is where I zoomed in here on Tiger Woods. And on this guy doing the same finger over the lips. Shh. And now that we've seen what we've seen with plasma fire, we know that there's a reason these people aren't just ready, willing, and able to receive the truth if someone wasn't keeping it from them. In fact, they are dangerous. They can't even recognize a clear and present danger when they are in the presence of it. And they keep their own minds under wraps. So there's a reason to maintain the process when you know that it produces a higher culture of people, a higher culture of consciousness, and a world worth living in that's full of people that are worth living with. And right now, we don't have that. And this process is going to bring us much closer to that. Okay, I'm not sure if it was even recording, but my point was, this is a collage of famous people you'll recognize. There's Bill Gates, Michael Jackson, Princess Di. Up here in this corner is Tiger Woods doing the finger over the lips thing, right next to Muhammad Ali and a bunch of other people. I think that's Abraham Lincoln over here. Anyway, down here in this bottom corner is this guy putting his finger over his lips. From plasma fire, we've learned these people aren't keeping any secrets from us. In fact, they're trying to educate us to the reality of the world and who we are. But our fear of what it is we might discover is what prevents us from finding out the truth. Instead, we'd like to point our finger at everyone else and say they're all evil. Well, we're going to have a choice point right here to either grow up at childhood's end. We're in an adulting process right now. Let's get on with the show. I'm just going to go through some images of artwork that I took from the museum and make a little bit of commentary about the artwork as I move through these images. But in order to avoid bouncing around, I'm just going to go scroll straight to the top of my list and move my way down. Now, this is actually a sticker that I saw in Park City stuck to a sign, just a regular pole. This thing's only a couple inches wide by a couple inches tall. And it says Financial Privacy Pirate Chain. Arrgh. I just thought that was interesting. Keep that for future reference. Come on. Arr. Norsk Leather and Fur Incorporated. Arr. You see a little bit of overlap there, little similarity. This, by the way, is a leather and fur distributor up there in Park City. Here we have horned Kachina. I know you can't quite see it. Those are feathers, but right here there's deer antlers on top of this horned Kachina. And it looks a bit like the two previous. It looks like My Pet Dragon. Anyway, I had never seen horned Kachina, so I took some photos of these. I don't think those ones actually have the horns. We'll see more of the horned ones here in a second. There you go. Horned Kachina. How you like me now? Horned Kachina. That's the one we just saw. Some of these I'll just breeze right over because I was just taking pictures in Park City. There's 3 of the horned Kachina, all 3 of them. This one's got antlers right there. This one's got 2 big horns right there. And this little guy's got some horns as well. Maybe not. But these 2 definitely got horns. Horned Kachina. And I'd never seen horned Kachina. So I thought it was kind of cool. There's, by the way, the lightning bolt is a symbol that we've also been told, oh, that means they're evil. Yeah, the lightning bolt, they're evil. The finger over the lip, they're evil. The little A-OK sign over the eyeball, they're evil. All this stuff just equals evil. And if you can't get over that bad habit that you've been trained and programmed into, you're not going to make it. That's why narrow is the gate. Narrow is the path, because fear prevents so many from getting through those gates. They get stuck on, oh, it's all evil, it's all evil. And they can't get past how it's all evil. Here's the lightning bolt being held. See the lightning bolt in the hand right there? But that's evil. Lucifer fell like lightning from heaven. It's evil. We don't need people like that where we're going. That's why the fear has been in place, to keep those people on their plantation. How many times in the Bible does it say, fear not? Fear is not of God. I heard it's the most used phrase in the whole Bible. Depending on how many different ways that says the all-seeing eye of, it's not Horus, it says something else down here. This is a photo I took through a window. You can see a reflection of people's legs walking by. Cars and stuff out here in the street. These are just pictures I took walking around Park City. And once you can see an electrical mechanical flying horse. What do you think that represents? It has even got license plates on these horses. And this is a common theme for this artist. It's always a horse with mechanical apparatuses attached to it. And the electricity, the light going through it, right? That's a electrical and mechanical flying horse with wings. Sometimes it's just a horse with wings, without all the mechanics and the electronics. And it represents the same thing, a flying horse, like a flaming chariot. These are what people would have referred to back in the day as UFO today. So here it's showing you the license plate that's on there, and I'll back up a little bit and you'll see more of that license plate. Again, there's a license plate right there by the loop that we just saw in the light rope that's on this flying horse. What I'm showing you here is how far back in the corner, clear back here in the corner, this one back here that's kind of hidden back here, you can see George Washington and Reagan right there. We're about to show you some of the stuff on that art that's kind of stashed back there in the corner. That's why I took this image from clear across the room, to show you that sucker is not exactly on prominent full display. It's the one with the all-seeing Abe right here. Feel free to pause it and take your own screenshots and zoom in. You think maybe these people know a little something? You think maybe these artists are tapped into a muse spirit? A force flowing through every boy and girl, 'cause we are the people that rule the world. And that's by Empire of the Sun. I can't do well when I think you're gonna leave, but I'm gonna try. Are you gonna leave me now? You bet. Take you with me if I can. That's a lyric from On Top of the World, 'cause I'm on top of the world. Some of this I'll just buzz through and you can check it out if you want. I think this is just like Kachina artwork, maybe even like flaming Kachina kind of stuff. There's a lot of reflection in the... Those are definitely some Kachinas. These are those weird signs that say one thing from a certain angle and then you get it at a different angle and you can see a different... This says girls can do anything. And then I show you from the halfway point where you can see the girls and the writing. And then from straight on, it's just all the girls. That ain't coming through too well, is it? That's all right. It'll just, there we go. So you have love and butterflies. Oh, butterflies are evil too. MK Ultra. Yeah. Yeah, definitely evil with all those. Yeah, love. We know what you're talking about. So here's another one of those horses with copper tubing. That's what this is here. It's copper tubing attached to the artwork. So there's mechanical apparatuses attached to these flying horses. There's another flying horse. A lot of them have license plates on them. And this crown, that's the divine right of kings to rule, is what's being symbolized there on that particular flying horse. There's another crown right there in front of it. Yeah. What do you think these flying horses represent? It's not tough to figure out. Especially when they add the electronics and the mechanics to them. What's it say? All you need is love. You got it. All you need is love. Is that the same picture? Yeah, with the guy doing the finger over the lips thing here. So we already went over that. We breezed right on. There's Bowie. Here's what's his name and the other what's his name. Oh, here's what's her name. Here's what's her name. Medusa. Oh, that's evil. Serpents are evil. Dragons are evil. Everyone knows that. Look, everyone's in agreement. From the religious right to the conspiracy theorists to the normies, everyone knows reptilians are evil. So if you're not a human supremacist and you're one of those lizard lovers, we're going to string you up for aiding and comforting the enemy, advocating for the reptilians. Some more Bowie. Oh, these are pictures of Bowie all around the edge of the Bowie, of the larger piece of art they'll probably show here in a minute. That's what I meant. Around the edge. All these right here along the edge. That's one of them, one of the edge photos. I don't know if I was trying to grab something specific there, but the lightning bolt. Is there life on Mars? Maybe that's one of the secrets they're putting their finger over their lips, telling you, shh, don't cheat these humans out of their filtration process. But as I've shown you over the last 4 years, you can't beat the truth into them. They refuse to accept the truth. They are dangerously, blissfully unaware. And in order to maintain their blissful ignorance, they will do anything. So go ahead, try and tell them the secret. See what happens. See what I've figured out. Oh, by the way, the Day of the Dead. Yeah, Dia de los Muertos. I showed you that in the music video by Kygo, titled Prayer in C. They're announcing the Day of the Dead, throwing up the stickers all over, the signs, and I've been collecting those signs and lacquering them up and calling them plasma-fired pieces of the Promethean forest for a long time now. Exactly like they do in the music video Prayer in C with Kygo. They've been putting up the signs for the Day of the Dead party all over. So if you didn't get the invitation, you were just too busy doing something else, paying attention to something else that was more important to you. Horns! Anything with horns is evil. Horns equals evil. But what about Moses had horns? Yeah, but maybe you need to let go of the things you think you know, because it's those preconceived ideas that are going to keep you from being able to go anywhere besides back to where you started. So there it looks like we got Tina Turner, some Jimi Hendrix, more of the lightning bolt here. Rocky Horror Picture Show with the lightning bolt there. So, painters and musicians, and we got some flame right there in the middle. I'm not sure what we're looking at right there. What is that? Oh, flame leading up the middle of the path. This girl is on fire. What's it say right there? Masonic Temple Theater, 500 Temple something, Temple Road or something. So that's definitely evil. And people think it's virtuous to point out, this is evil, that's evil, that's evil. Oh, well, you must be a really good person because you've pointed out all the evil. And the more evil you point out, the better person you are. Yeah. We don't need any of those people where we're going either. We're leaving all the haters behind before the sun decides to hide. So here's a song called Heat Waves. Heat waves are freaking me out. They kept playing the intro to this song as a paid advertisement on my phone, and I kept skipping it. Like, I don't want to watch whatever your song is. They had to play that 50 times before I listened to the song, and each time they would play the chorus about heat waves are freaking me out. Well, guess what? We're in the middle of some badass heat waves, and some people are getting freaked out. And if you notice those clouds in here, those are nacho clouds. Nacho Granddad's clouds. Those are the new kind of clouds. But these particular lyrics right here are at the very first of the song in a muffled way, like underwater muffled. You know that I'm never going to lose, and the part about how you can walk through. Yeah, you can walk through. You can come with, but you got to want to leave my old life behind. Not a yes, sir, not a follower. You fit the box, fit the mold, have a seat in the corner, and take your number. What number? Oh, the Mark of the Beast number? Yeah. Here you go, from the music video called Counting Stars by OneRepublic, where he says, I've been praying hard. He throws up one of these. Evil, evil, definitely evil. Or you need to let go of all that shit you've been programmed to see as evil, because in the end of childhood's end, that's exactly what they show, is that everything you've been programmed to see as the devil is what walks off the ship looking like God. But you've been programmed to retaliate against God. And you think pointing out anything and everything that you can declare evil is going to make you a good person? Not where I come from. It takes a little bit more work than that. Declaring everything and everyone besides yourself as evil, that might actually be what's evil. The opposite of good is not evil. The opposite of good is apathy and indifference. Exactly what I've shown you that people are full of. When it comes to plasma fire, I don't care. It makes no difference to me. I'm going to just keep doing what I was doing yesterday and pretend like that's not happening. Yeah. We're filtering the consciousness on the consciousness farm, and these separations are happening real soon. So I'm probably not going to make too many more videos, but the ones that I do make are going to be a little different. Like speaking to the 5 or 10 people that are going to receive the offers. By the way, I made that video saying that you'd receive offers a day or two before I came across the music video by Smash Mouth that says, don't delay, act now, supplies are running out. Allow if you're still alive, 6 to 8 years to arrive. And if you follow, there may be a tomorrow, but if the offer's shunned, you might as well be walking on the sun. That is not a metaphor that takes a lot of interpretation, and it uses the same exact words that I said in a video just prior to discovering that song about how offers will be made to certain people to come with. But like it says, don't hesitate, 'cause my love won't wait. Ooh, baby, I love your way. So check yourself with all that shit you think you know, all your preconceived ideas. I want to take the preconceived out from underneath your feet. We can shake it off, and instead we'll plant some seeds. Watch them as they grow, and with each new beat, from your heart the roots grow deeper. The branches, will they reach for what nobody really knows? That's from the song by Jack Johnson that starts out, again, like the other one says, before the sun decides to hide, we're leaving all the haters behind. Take the preconceived out from underneath your feet with all that shit you think you know about the Masons and this is evil and that's evil. And throw it right out the window, because that shit is what you have been programmed with. To keep you on the plantation by master of this plantation. Around the sun, some say, is gonna be the new hell. Some say it's still too early to tell. Some say it really ain't no myth at all. Keep asking ourselves, are we really strong enough? And there's so many things that we got too proud of. We're too proud of. I want to take the preconceived out from underneath your feet. We can shake it off, and instead we'll plant some seeds. And they're trying to tell you here, yeah, that shit was bullshit, man, and we're trying to let you in on the secret. But if you want to just declare anything and everything besides yourself, anything that I don't understand, anyone who knows things that I don't know, like Mr. MB3, people like to tell, oh, he's a shill. I knew he's full of shit and he's an agent. Why? Because he knows more than he's telling. You people are fucking dangerous, and we are trying to educate you, and there's nothing worse than a 5-year-old who fucking thinks he knows something while you're trying to educate him, telling you you're fucking evil. Free your mind. You've been thrown a rope. What will you do with it? Declare it evil? Go run and tell master? Or, as I said on my way to Missouri, join us witches. Join this Antichrist, because that's what they're going to call me, because I'm here to free you from the plantation, and all that programming that you've been programmed with is to keep you on the plantation. So they're going to fucking tell you to string me up at the nearest stake, and we're going to have a good old witch burning. And guess what? Remember that story in the Bible? Let's see what your God can do. See if you can light up that bowl. No? Here, watch what my God can do. And the great delusion. They loved the lie so much that they would be given a strong delusion. Well, that's what we just went through with the COVID. And the only reason Richie from Boston was talking with this religious couple saying, this looks like the strong delusion it talks about in the Bible. They said, no, it can't be that, because at the same time, someone would arrive and demonstrate the power to draw fire from heaven in the sight of everyone for all to see. And guess what? That's what's been happening for 4 years. And they're going to bring the reaction and the solution. Once they draw the public's attention to the problem, they have a prepared solution when they guide your reaction with a narrative that includes aliens. So guess what? You probably need yourself a shaman who's got a proven track record here, or you're going to get sucked into some shit. Because you think you know something, and they're going to use and play upon those things that you think you know, all of that programming and indoctrination that you've been jacked full of, to send you right over the cliff. With all the other lemmings, with their self-righteous moral high horses that they're riding off into the sunset on. They will fall into the pits that they dug for us. So, regarding Freemasonry and the Order of the Eastern Star, Mormons are Masons. That's just a division of Masonry. There was a time when all Mormon males of age joined a lodge. And all those dragons on the outside of the Salt Lake County building, where it shows the Freemasonic sign and says where that cornerstone was dedicated and when it was dedicated by the Masons, on the outside of the Salt Lake County building that was built by the Mormon settlers who moved here. You think they were just paying homage to some lake monster they spotted? Or you think those dragons mean some things that you don't understand, and you gotta stop being a soft-minded person who takes hardline stance on things you don't understand in order to have that fear burned out of you. That's what I said to that guy on my way to Missouri when he asked, what are you looking for? I'm looking for the truth about myself without fear of what it is I might discover. And if you're looking for the same thing, then I think we're about to discover some stuff that we're gonna really enjoy. It's gonna be a party, like on the music video On Top of the World. So this pattern behind him, that's the thumbnail image for On Top of the World, and apparently that's the same carpet that was used in The Shining, produced by Kubrick, who also gave us Eyes Wide Shut. On Top of the World is showing you that it was a Hollywood production, with camera